Oh, it's already raining. Ooh. You know, people don't think about it, but the same way you get tension in your muscles, like you ever feel like, oh, my legs are tight or they're tense, you get the same thing from overuse of certain facial muscles. Certain looks on your face get trapped. You know, like when you're a kid, they say if you make a frown and somebody slap you on your back, you get stuck. Well, that's not entirely true, but if you make the same face all the time, you get stuck. One face I get stuck with is this right here. And as I'm getting older, that muscle right here, the glabella, it gets bigger as like a bulge. The way you feel is intrinsically tied to muscular tension. And so where there's tension, there's feeling or a blockage of feeling. Most of the time it's a blockage of feeling. The fact is, if you release that tension, you feel different. And oftentimes when tension is released, you feel more free. But when I do this, I feel different. Amazon guys here. Want to see what I got? I don't even know what I got. This could be embarrassing. Unboxing. So I got my potassium chloride. I put salts in my water. My magnesium glycinate, grass-fed beef protein. I like Amazon. I know that there could be things about Amazon not to like. I like that I can get whatever I want shipped right to me, especially since I live out here in the country. Where else would I get that? China? I'd have to go to China to get all my stuff. I'd have to go all the way down, straight down to China. Yeah, relaxing these muscles right here. I think clearer, I feel more awake, feel more alive. Yeah, you all do the same thing. You're looking at your screen, so you know, that's why I look more and more like a villain the older I get. But really, I'm a nice guy. Really, I am. I also ran into a wall when I was a kid, right corner of the wall. You see that line right there? Split right there. Split my third eye open. Face tension is like a mask. Because if you're holding back feeling in your face, you're holding back what you really want to express. So you ever see somebody who's like a chronic smiler, right? Or nervous smiler? My wife is a nervous smiler. It's like a muscular imbalance. It's like a pattern. Some people just forever looking angry, not even angry. Notice right now as you're watching this, where do you feel like you could actually drop and relax? Wilhelm Reich says that the jaw holds almost all of the tension. With the jaw, you'll know how tense your jaw is by your inability to hold your mouth open. Try holding your mouth open and breathing just for 5 minutes like this. Most people, they just can't do it. Like the mouth just starts closing. Or you try to do it and you're like this. The mouth just don't want to stay open. Do you know that the jaw is the strongest muscles in the body? And it goes all the way up into your head. Temporal mandibular. Anyways, jaw muscles. Back here, get real tense, like right here. Go like this and feel it. You'll notice just how, like it hurts. Chewing muscles. My dad chews gum all the time. Because if he's not chewing gum, he's talking. Blah, 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 blah. He's like me. But if he's not talking, he's chewing gum. Those muscles, somebody commented on a video with my dad. They said, damn, Elliot's dad has strong jaw muscles. Like, you know, you guys are trying to look max, looking at my dad. Damn, Elliot's dad got a strong jaw. That's because he be jabber-jawing a lot, chewing gum. If you want to have a strong face like my dad, you got to talk a lot and chew gum. Speaking of the devil, Bruno.
Take a picture of potato salad.
Take a picture of the potato salad.
Some of my older videos, I was talking a lot about bioenergetics, which, by the way, is coming back. Tension, the unconscious tension in the muscles, neurotic holding patterns. That's what Alexander Lowen called them. They're neurotic holding patterns. They're like trapped in the nervous system, and you don't know they're there. There's only a few ways to be aware of your unconscious physical holding patterns. One is touch it. Along that lines is tapping it, massaging it, like it lets you know, damn, something's going on there. Shaking it. Wow. So I just felt a whole lot going on in here, even in the deep depths of my eyeballs. Swinging, you know, bouncing. All these kinds of movements, you have to relax the body to do it. Like I feel them right here now. And anywhere there's no movement, you know that it's trapped. What's a good example of that? You know when you wrap in a Christmas present or a present for somebody, and some of the tape gets on the gift itself. So it's on the wrapping paper, but maybe there's a gap, and some of the tape is on the gift itself. So when you're trying to rip the wrapping paper off, everything else is loose. Oh yeah, loose. But then there's that one part where it's like, oh, it's stuck. You don't know it until you're trying to tear that wrapping paper off. Then you realize, oh shit, something's stuck over here. External rotation. Bad thing and good thing about training is that it exposes all that muscular tension. I've been knowing about this stuff for a long time. Most of y'all listening to me are probably like, what the hell is this guy talking about? I don't have any of that. Yeah, you do. You just don't know. You just don't know. It starts forming from the time you exit the womb. In fact, a lot of it starts forming while you're in the womb. These are like deep rooted in your nervous system. That's why it's called character structure. It's because it's like as your personality is being formed, your body is too, right? You look like what you are. You know how people look like their personality? Even though people who are funny, but just by looking at them, like, you know the guy is funny because he tells jokes, but the minute you look at him, you just start laughing. It's structured into his body. You know it's true, because if you watch movies, they typecast. There's certain personalities that go with certain looks. Like the hero always look the same. The funny guy is always fat. They're embodying an archetype. They're looking like what they are. And it's not a stereotype, it's an archetype, meaning it's a real pattern. And the pattern begins when you're very, very young. Reich taught that many of the patterns develop as a response to trauma. And so the type that you are, I don't know if I totally believe this, I think a lot of it's genetic, but the type that you are is formulated based on the time from in utero to usually about age 7. For example, the self-deprecating, funny fat guy is called a masochist, right? And a masochist is developed during potty training time. And the emotion that's associated with a trauma during potty training is shame. Because, oh, you pooped yourself again, you nasty little mother. Mama gotta go back to work and you steady shitting yourself. You should be ashamed of yourself. Be a big boy already. And so that's a very traumatic time for a lot of children, right? And so the masochists become self-deprecating as a result. And you know, one of the ways they discharge that energy is by telling jokes. The funny fat guy. Energetically, what that means is they're holding their butt up. They're holding themselves up. So they usually start to fill up like with shit. I know this sounds crazy, but if you have shame around shitting, you hold it all in, you start to get round. Fill up, you're full of shit. I know this sounds like I'm full of shit. I'm a little bit of a masochist. That's just one example of how during a particular time of the formative years that a trauma leads to a character type, a character structure. It's physical and it's mental because the body is the mind. Oral character structure is developed during what should be breastfeeding time. But if the mother doesn't breastfeed the child and the child is now being put on a timer for when it's supposed to eat and when it's not supposed to eat, the child will reach out and hanker and want, but it's not feeding time. You don't get it right now. Or if the baby's made to cry himself to sleep, and so a lot of that goes on. So oral types look like this. Masochist looks filled up, they're a little bit more erect. Oral types usually have poor posture and they have the arms look like they're reaching out. Orals, like the sound says, they're usually very oral fixated. They might play with stuff in their mouth, have something going on with their mouth. They usually talk a lot, they're usually very friendly. All my favorite people are oral. You can take that the wrong way.
What would you say your character type is?
Psychopath. Psychopath, character structure-wise, usually have very animated faces. They're very charismatic. They can almost hypnotize you with the way they talk. Most politicians are psychopaths. Most musicians are oral. Psychopath is developed with a sense of injustice usually. They want to help the little guy. And it usually comes from being older, like the older sibling, right? There's also a lot of what Reich would call seduction from a parent or an older person. Not in the sexual way, although it could be, but more a matter of like, you're the big boy. You should know what's right. You got to be the leader. There's a sense that like, yeah, I guess I am. Hey, you gotta listen up. I'm in charge here. It could go both ways. In a good way, very helpful, like fighting for the underdog. In a bad way, very manipulative. But if you want to know more about that crazy stuff, if you happen to be weird and you're interested in it, watch my new videos, my new series. Introduction to everything I know. I got a lot of weird stuff in my brain. Not everybody appreciates, but it could be useful to everybody. If you like what I'm talking about, you just want to hear me talking about it, I could go pretty deep. And hope you enjoy it. It's just for entertainment sakes only. Talk to your doctor.